In the next video tutorial, we're going to have a look at how to complete a mail merge using the mail merge wizard. Okay, now I'm going to open up Word and open up my example document, mail merge letter 1. Okay, now mail merge, of course, allows me to send the same letter, in this case, to multiple recipients. Okay, now what we need, two things. First of all, I need a letter that I want to send, and here is my letter. You can see I've got some standard text on there. Now at this point I don't know who I'm sending it to, so it just says dear and then no name. Okay, so I've got my address there, but underneath I don't have the recipient information. And that's because I want to send this same letter to multiple other people. Now in another place, what I need is a list of that recipient information. And in our case, it's actually in an Excel file. It could be a Word document or a database file located somewhere else. So we have two pieces of information: the letter that we want to send, and then the information that we're going to put onto that letter. When the merge is completed, we'll end up with a third document with those two sets of information merged together. Okay, now we can do this manually, but we can also use the wizard. So let's head up to the Mailings tab. Okay, and on the left hand side we want a start a mail merge. Okay, if I give that a click, we can manually do it here, but what I want to do is right at the bottom use the step-by-step mail merge wizard. So I'm going to give that a click, and on the right hand side the mail merge wizard panel will open up. I'll just make that a little bit bigger there. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is tell it what type of merge I want to do. So we can merge letters, email messages, create envelopes, labels, and even a directory. We're going to stick to the letters at the top, the most common one. Once I've chosen the type of merge I want to complete, right at the bottom I can tell it, right, move on to the next step. So the wizard is going to lead us through step by step, asking us the questions that it requires. Now at any point, of course, down at the bottom we can click previous and then change our mind. Okay, so I'm going to say next, start in the document. Which document would I like to use? Okay, I want to use the current document. So I've opened up the letter that I want to send. I could start from a template, in which case I'd have to select that template, or if I haven't opened up a document yet, I could start from an existing document and again click open to find it. But for us, we've got the document right there, so use the current document. Next, now I have to select the recipients. Now again, I've got a few choices. I can use an existing list. That's what we're going to do. We could select our recipient from our Outlook contacts list, or start from scratch and type out a new list. Well, we're going to use an existing list. All I have to do is click browse and go and find that list. Now I'm going to head for my support files folder, and in there you will find an Excel file called client data. Now this is just a simple Excel file. Select it, click open. Okay, now because the data is coming from Excel, we could have a number of sheets in our Excel workbook. We've just got the one, it's called clients. We could also have named ranges, alright, so and I have got a named range clients as well. Okay, in this case it doesn't matter which one of those two you select. I'm going to go for the top one, which is the worksheet clients. Down at the bottom, does the first row of data in that Excel file contain headers or information? Now in our case it contains headers, so we must make sure that is ticked correctly. So I'll tick that, click OK, and here is a list of the recipients. Now I'll make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so in here we will be able to identify exactly who's going to receive it. So we can see that we've got address, city, region information, email information, telephone number, the ID of the customers, and then the customer name, contact name, and so on. So quite a few pieces of information. We can sort the data, just click the columns there and sort the information, and we can also filter it, but we'll have a look at filtering in a later tutorial. One thing we could do here though is untick the people that we actually don't want to send the letter to. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that they're they are all ticked, but we could deselect particular people that way. Alright, this is a list of the people who are going to get the letter. We click OK. Okay, and then at that point I need to write my letter. Write the letter. Now you can see that our letter is actually created there. So rather than write it, all I need to do is put in specific pieces of information from my client list at the right point. Okay, and the wizard makes this quite easy. So on the right hand side here, I want to insert an address block right there. So I'm going to click address block. Okay, and it asks me for a few pieces of information. Do I want to insert the recipient's name? And if so, in what format? Do I insert a postal address? And if so, do I want to include the country? Okay, and on the right hand side, this is what it's going to look like. Now, it looks like I haven't got all of that information in there. One of the reasons for this is because Word is looking for specific pieces of information, and I may not have it. Okay, alright, so down at the bottom right hand corner, I'm going to click Match Fields. So Word is expecting to find a field called, or a column in Excel called first name, and it didn't find it. You can see it's not matched. So if I drop this list down, that's because in Excel it was called contact first name. And the last name is actually called contact last name. So using this, I can pick the piece of information that Word needs to build that address block. Okay, so it's found the city and the region. It hasn't found the postcode, so I'll switch that to postcode there. Okay, and there's a range of other pieces of information that we could add if we wanted. But in my case, that's good enough. Click OK, and hopefully, yes, now it has got enough information to provide that address block. At that point, all I have to do is click OK. Now you can see at this point all it does is puts a little placeholder in there where the address block will go. Let's try that on the greeting line there. So dear, I'm going to add a greeting line. Okay, what's the format of the name that's going to appear, and the greet line itself, well, I don't need one. I've already got dear in there, so I'll choose none at that point. Click OK, and there will be the greeting line. Now what we need to do is actually see this. Okay, so now that we've inserted the fields that we want, we can go to the bottom and preview our letters. And you can see now that the whole address block is now in there. And dear Elizabeth Smith. Okay, now up at the top, we can use these little navigation buttons to scan through and see how each individual address block is going to look. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. As we go through, we preview, and we may decide that we want to exclude a particular recipient. We could click exclude that recipient at that point, but I want to send the letters to everybody. Okay, so the final thing then is to complete the merge. So right down at the bottom, complete the merge. At this point, do I want to send the new document that will be created straight to the printer, or edit individual letters? Well, I want to edit individual letters so we can actually see what it's going to look like. So edit individual letters. I want to merge all records. Click OK. And after a few seconds of click and whirring, there is the resultant merge document. Okay, so you can see every one of these is identical, of course, apart from the names and addresses there and the greeting line. Okay, and let's just zoom out a little bit. You can see for each individual recipient I've now got a unique letter. I could save that. I could print it. In this case, I'm just going to close that letter down. I'm not going to bother to save it. Okay, and I'm back to my merge document there. If I need to recreate that letter, I can just recomplete the merge. And a few seconds later, those 57 pages come back again. Okay, so that is how to complete a mail merge using the Mail Merge Wizard. I hope you found that useful. Look forward to seeing you in the next video tutorial.